The digital world is not a place you simply log into. It is a world you must create. To thrive, you must be resilient, and to truly lead, you must have the courage to build the future you want to see. It was an impactful 3-day event at the 7th edition of the Young Leaders Summit 2025, organized by the Parent Intercession Initiative. This year's theme, Digital Dominion, Thriving, Creating and Leading.
In an age where artificial intelligence is now dominant, I'd like to remind every creative here that AI can never replace you, because the human brain has the ability to generate ideas and stories from a creative point of view that AI has no potential to ever do.
The place we call the Dreams Land, where imagination blooms and hopes take stand. Fears, they fade. Thoughts, they spread out freely.
The keynote speaker, Dr. Lawrence Bayode, reminded the participants that the future is no longer ahead of them, but the future is in their hands.
We are gathered in a defining decade, a time when digital intelligence is not just a tool, but a territory, a landscape where nations compete, a landscape where individuals disrupt, a landscape where leaders emerge. All not by inheritance, but by dominion. And to you, the young generation, I say with great conviction that the future is no longer ahead of you. I say with conviction that the future is already in your hands. When we talk about thriving in a digital world, we are talking about carrying yourself from being a consumer to commander.
The Chairman, Board of Trustees, Parent Intercession Initiative, Pastor Aya Oshinlo, emphasized on the need to dominate in the digital space.
You see that the theme for this year's summit is digital dominion. So there are two things involved in this theme. One is to build you up to be able to be relevant in your own world, which is the digital epoch of the human space. But apart from being relevant as a participant, this summit desires to equip you so that you can dominate that space. That's why the theme is digital dominion. We don't want you to go out and just be participants in the digital space. We want you to go and dominate the digital space. So that if you go to Germany, you go to Switzerland, you go to South Africa, you go to anywhere in the world, and you're located within your contemporaries, we don't want you to just number among your contemporaries. We want you to prevail.
The Trailblazers wowed everyone with their outstanding presentations.
Since social media algorithm keeps changing, what is the best way in 2025 to grow online without losing your values? You know, it's easy to derail these days. We have a lot of internet relative I mean, netizens, or what do they call them these days? Like brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers that we have on the media space or on the social space, who most of us now take advices from or take counsel from. So since the algorithm keeps changing, what is the best way to grow online without losing your core values?
Basically, the best way is already having standards for yourself. Already having set standards for yourself, you would know the things to take in and take out.
Being influential online can lead to burnout and pressure. How can young people today balance mental health with making an impact?
Because it's one thing I also struggle with. It can be draining, having to create content. You know, it's something that is a lot of brain work, especially when you want to put out value. Your offline wellness is actually very important for your online presence. So I need you to, if you have to write it down, write it down. Your offline wellness is important for your online presence. So why am I saying this? You need to know when to, okay, so if you are creating content for food, I'm using food because I'm a chef. What I do, I batch cook. Let's say I want to create content today. I decide, okay, I want to do all of these recipes. I've noted it down. I buy all my ingredients the day before, prep, then I start to cook. So I create like 3 contents in a day. But I won't post all of that for you to see that very day. So I now space it out. So that is one thing you can do. It's a strategy you can use. That is why the Bible said, write the vision down, make it plain, so that you can run with it. You can forget sometimes that this is what I set out to do. But if you write it down, it now begins to back up every other thing you would do, your content, the way your page is going to be aligned, your brand colors, everything. That is why you need to, and please, like I said, your offline wellness. You need to make sure that your brain is sharp before you can put out valuable content out there. Thank you.
What simple rule should young people follow to make sure their online presence helps people and not just themselves? Again,
it's very important for you to have your who you are reaching, who you are trying to reach out to, which is your target audience, where you want to reach them, how, like which social media platform do you want to use to reach them, what you want to reach, what you want to show them and teach them. Or social media, you have to either be an educator or like doing like something related with lifestyle content. So you have to know who, where, what, and then how to get to them.
Please put your hands together for them as they leave the stage.
You know, you can maximize technical tools or technological tools to grow yourself as an artist. How many of us know BandLab? You've heard of BandLab before. Okay, so BandLab is one tool you can use to actually start growing your career as an artist. I use BandLab to do covers, I use BandLab to do vocals. I send to producers, they call me for jobs, they call me for gigs, and I get paid on, on the job. But if you are looking to go to a studio, which is expensive, for music production, to record your songs, I would advise that you start small. So you can start by using BandLab, and then you could get instrumentals or ask producers to do instrumentals for you, pay them something, and then you can use BandLab to mix your voice and the sound. You create a video, you add the sound to the video, and you sell yourself out there. You can put it on
TikTok. Is important. Also using deodorant or antiperspirant after showering, using clean clothes and underwear. Then for oral care, brushing your teeth twice in a day, cleaning your tongue or flossing, and then limiting the amount of sugary drinks you take. Also for your hands and phones, washing your hands after the toilet. Please, there are people that don't use this or do this. Carrying sanitizers. If you're in a place where you're not sure there'll be access to water or soap, sanitizers too are like your best bet.
Health is basically a complete state of
being mentally healthy, socially healthy, physically healthy also, not just the absence of disease alone. Now, what is mental health? Mental health is all about our emotional, psychological, and our social well-being. It influences how we think, how we act, how we live our day-to-day lives, even how we communicate with people and interact with people around us. So, as much as we take our physical health important, we also have to take our mental health important. Asthma is a condition where the airways in the lungs get tight, inflamed, and they produce more mucus, making it hard to breathe. So you see people that are always like gasping for air. Most people that do that have asthma. So some of the symptoms you see: coughing, wheezing, chest tightness, shortness of breath, and so on. To control this or prevent it, avoid triggers.
Performances by the trailblazers and participants added spice to the event.
Well, I wonder if you know him. Do you know him? Let me introduce you to him. My king is the only one whom there is no means of measure can define his limitless love. No far-seeing telescope can bring into visibility the coastline of his shoreless supplies. No barriers can hinder from pouring out his blessing. He's enduringly strong. He's entirely sincere. He's eternally steadfast. He's immortal, graceful. He's imperially powerful. He's impartially merciful. That's my king. He's God's son. He's the sinner's savior. He's the centerpiece of civilization.
Don't you know? Beans in the sun, having fun. You know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is gone. That's what I mean. And this whole world is a new world. And the whole
There were interactive sessions.
We're talking about leveraging digital tools for business growth. My journey has taught me that success in the digital world, business in the digital world is not all about numbers. Although the numbers are important, but you do not begin with numbers as some will think. It's all about purpose, delivering value, and having a solid strategy. With the invention of AI, work has become seamless. For those who have tapped, some people have tapped into the possibilities available with AI. Some people are still in doubt. Some are still thinking that, oh, it's gonna come take my job. No.
Because what I've just noticed from this hall is that you have lots of people with brilliant stories, very inspiring stories, regardless of their age. And their stories can turn lives around. But that platform for them to share the story is not available. So I believe this platform can also be used for them to share their stories. I would also believe that I have lots of people here that write poems and what have you. There are some persons that express themselves in writing, poems, fiction and what have you. With the permission of Madame, if God permits, maybe the next edition, we're going to do something very interesting.
So if you're a leader, you have to know where your strengths are. You have to know where your weaknesses are. One thing that I've learned is that the best leaders are not perfect, right? A leader doesn't know everything, can't do everything, isn't everything. But a leader is somebody who, they are aware of where their strengths are, they really build on that, and then they are aware of where their weaknesses are, and then they now try to get better. So a leader is somebody who is aware of where they are weak, and then trying to build that capacity. Some leaders are very good at big picture, right? So somebody can say, you know what, I want to have a very big event that has 5,000 people, that has 4 different panels, and then has a very big keynote speaker. Some leaders are very good at small details. They'll say, for those 5,000 people, we have to have 50 tables, 10 chairs. You can't do circle because it will not take enough space. We do square, etc. Those are the ones. So everybody has different skill sets. So a good leader is somebody that is able to balance whatever it is that they are doing, and then they can build their team to make sure that they can all be effective together.
A sewing machine and 25 laptops were gifted to some of the participants.
I was built to be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, though I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions.
What we call technology. Today, because like I've said in the course of my keynote address, we just use technology to support whatever you want to do, even as a young person. Like I've said, from now, you can start leading. So before I started leading, even as a student, for me, I started leading even as a pastor. When I was listening to, became a pastor for some like 25 years ago, and since then and what has really helped me to do well, both secularly and in my pastoral work, is that because I know what digital is, I know what technology is, and I've been able to support everything that I do as a person.
Mental Furniture is part of the sponsor of the program, and we are here because we are here to support the program. This particular initiative sort of mirrors what we do at Mental Furniture, because our corporate social responsibility philosophy is empowerment, right? So we empower people, empower communities, we empower environment, and we believe that these kind of programs are the programs necessary to equip our young leaders with necessary skills. Our youth having the audacity to create, to innovate, to think, right? The audacity to be able to have that possibility, that mindset of possibility. Because yeah, apart from skills, we also need to have that possibility, that mindset possibility, which is actually what sets leaders apart from other people.
It's important to note that we should always remain authentic, even given the opportunity that we have with our media and the age that we are in. It's always to remain authentic and know that AI is not just there to do everything for us.
In the aspect of mentorship, I've seen the importance, and the speakers have been able to express how important it is we need to find a mentor, especially in this digital age.
It has impacted in my life in so many ways. Even the group they gave me, because they gave me digital leaders, which is to teach you how to be a leader. So it has impacted in me creativity, bringing teams together, being able to understand everybody.
The concept of digital dominion is about positioning young people for their world. The culture of the world in this phase is digital. Now, to be able to flow in that culture and be able to be a part of that world, you have to have competence for what matters in that world. So what we are doing by this exercise is twofold. One is to enable young people to be effective participants in the world of digital. Now, in addition to that, we don't only want to produce them as participants, we want to produce them and empower them as champions of the digital world, as people who have the capacity to dominate the digital world.
Whether you like it or not, we're in a digital space. And so this generation, this is what they are used to. You can't give them what they are not used to. So you need to come and deal with them on their terms. So if you don't come to deal with them on their terms, then there's no way you can actually impact them. There's no way you can actually transform them and expect them to give more to the society. Yeah, because you now have them, you have content creators, you have creative writers, so you need to give them something that will make them useful for this generation.